Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. World's first of its kind no-fly list issued by the government. 3 levels of unruly deeds described. Quantum of ban to range from 3 months to 2 years. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad questions the Karnataka government over no security given to slain journalist Gauri Lankesh when she was working to rehabilitate Naxals. Bengaluru police asked people for information on murder. The 51st International Literacy Day observed in the country. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu says neo-literates must become the ambassadors of India's literacy program. China defends ally Pakistan on the issue of terrorism, says Islamabad doing best to combat terrorism and that its efforts must be recognized by some countries. And tsunami alert issued after strong 8 magnitude earthquake hits Mexico's Pacific coast. At least 5 people have been killed. Misbehaving on a domestic flight could now get a passenger barred from flying for a period ranging from 3 months to 2 years or more. The government on Friday released the no-fly list with 3 levels of clearly defined unruly deeds and the quantum of ban against each level. These new rules will be applicable to on board an aircraft, VIPs and crew included. Here's a report.
India has become the first country in the world to have a national no-fly list. Civil Aviation Minister Ashok Gajapati Raju on Friday released the no-fly list that bans unruly passengers from domestic air travel. The motive behind the no-fly list is to keep blacklisted people off planes to ensure safety and check unruly behavior.
It will be fairly well accepted because it has taken a balance of what should be done in the is acceptable in the aircraft, say what is acceptable in ground. So the whole thing is balanced.
Unruly physical gestures, verbal harassment and unruly inebriation shall invite a ban up to 3 months. Physically abusive behavior like pushing, kicking, hitting and inappropriate touching will also attract a ban up to 6 months. Life-threatening behavior like assault and damage to aircraft systems will also lead to imposition of ban for 2 years or more. For repeat offenders, the ban will be twice the period of the previous ban.
We can never compromise on safety and of course security. So basically safety angles are to be looked into and there should be a fairness in the whole thing.
The complaint would have to be addressed by the pilot in command of the aircraft. An internal committee then formed by the airline, consisting of a district and sessions judge as chairman and members from different scheduled airlines and consumer association would examine the complaint and decide within 30 days on the duration of the ban. During this period, the concerned airline could impose a ban on the accused passenger. These rules will be applicable to foreign carriers too, subject to compliance with the Tokyo Convention of 1963. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, a day after Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi termed Lankesh's murder as a right-wing conspiracy, the BJP has hit back. Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad criticized the Congress for pinning the blame on the RSS even before investigations had begun. He even questioned the Congress government in the state for not providing security to Gauri Lankesh when she was dealing with Naxals.
Gauri Lankesh नक्सलाइटों की सिंपैथाइजर भी थी और उनको मेन स्ट्रीम में लाने की कोशिश कर रही थी और एक नागराज उनके मित्र थे, उनको उन्होंने मेन स्ट्रीम में लाया भी था। इसके कारण नक्सलाइट्स गुस्से में थे और उनके नक्सलाइटों को सरेंडर करवाने के प्रयास को उचित नहीं मान रहे थे। हम पहला सवाल ये करना चाहते हैं कर्नाटक के मुख्यमंत्री से कि गौरी लंकेश नक्सलाइट माओवादियों को जो सरेंडर करवा रही थी तो क्या वो राज्य सरकार की सहमति से करा रही थी? क्योंकि अधिकांश नक्सलाइट के खिलाफ सीरियस क्रिमिनल केसेस होते हैं, और अगर वो करवा रही थी तो मुख्यमंत्री और वहां की सरकार ने उनको उचित सुरक्षा क्यों नहीं दिया?
Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad questioning the Congress government in Karnataka over the murder of journalist Gauri Lankesh. He questioned the lack of security to the journalist when she was working to rehabilitate the Naxals. He also attacked Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi for declaring the RSS ideology guilty without an investigation having even begun into the journalist murder. Although the minister condemned comments on Lankesh's killing, he also questioned the silence on the killings of RSS workers in Karnataka and Kerala.
जो लोग गौरी लंकेश की दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण हत्या पर इतनी बड़ी-बड़ी टिप्पणी कर रहे हैं, उसमें बुद्धिजीवी भी हैं, तथाकथित लिबरल भी हैं, उनसे मुझे आज एक सवाल करना है कि अगर गौरी लंकेश की दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण हत्या पर आप इतने क्रोधित हैं, जो सही है, होना चाहिए आप, तो इतनी संख्या में संघ और बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता कर्नाटक में मारे गए, उस पर आप खामोश क्यों हैं? केरल में इतनी बड़ी संख्या में संघ के स्वयंसेवक मारे गए, किसी का हाथ काट दिया जाता है, नृशंस हत्या की जाती है, उस पर आप क्यों चुप रहते हैं?
Away from the politics over the murder, the SIT formed by the Karnataka government has begun its probe into Gauri Lankesh's killing. The Bengaluru police has also circulated a phone number and an email ID for people to share any information they might have on the case.
They are doing their work. We want results, that's all.
Any positive things about this?
Definitely, they will work. That's why we constituted SIT. They have only one assignment.
America's acting Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs, Alice Wells, also described Lankesh's killing as a tragic murder. The Indian National Overseas Congress in the US also said that the incident appeared to be a meticulously planned one, executed to silence a powerful voice. 55-year-old Gauri Lankesh was shot dead by unidentified assailants outside her house in Bengaluru on Tuesday. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the 51st International Literacy Day was observed today across the world with the theme Literacy in the Digital World. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu conferred the Shankar Bharat Awards to dignitaries at an event organized by the HRD Ministry at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. The awards were given to the best performing states, districts, Gram Panchayats and NGOs.
Addressing an event on the occasion of the 51st International Literacy Day, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said neo-literates will be the ambassadors of the country's literacy program and that community learning centers would be developed into hubs of learning and community empowerment.
You are educated, you will not be able to fight against corruption. You will not be able to fight against discrimination. You will not be able to fight against injustice that is meted out to you. So that's why everybody needs to be educated.
The Vice President also suggested ways to achieve universal literacy while asserting that literacy provides the first essential step towards building a vibrant and a more inclusive democracy.
Development has no meaning without literacy. Democracy has no meaning without literacy. स्वराज्य का कोई अर्थ नहीं है जब तक हर एक नागरिक साक्षरता के साथ उनको नहीं जोड़ेंगे, फिर उसका कोई अर्थ नहीं है. Add to this, 40% of our school children are not acquiring basic literary skills proficiently, even though after completing the cycle of elementary education. ये भी एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय है.
The event was also attended by Union HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar and Ministers of State for HRD Upendra Singh Kushwaha and Satyapal Singh.
70-80 लाख छात्र आज भी स्कूल में नहीं जा रहे हैं. वो भी तो इलिटरेट है, वो भी असाक्षर है. तो उनका भी एक खास कार्यक्रम करने की हमने सोचा है कि स्कूल चलो अभियान अनेक राज्यों ने शुरू किया. अगले साल से हम देश भर में पूरी तरह से तैयारी के साथ करेंगे स्कूल चलो अभियान.
The 51st International Literacy Day focuses on literacy in a digital world, how digitization has evolved literacy across the globe, and who's done a commendable job to deserve the UNESCO International Literacy Prizes. With input from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, in Ranchi too, the Vice President said that age should not be a barrier for learning. While interacting with neo-literates and literacy instructors in the city, he gave his own example of how he learned Hindi at an older age. He also rewarded those who became literate at an elderly age. This is the first visit to Venkaiah Naidu to the state as Vice President. He awarded 5 Panchayat women heads from Jharkhand who have done commendable work for development and literacy. He also lauded the Jharkhand government for doing a commendable job in the field of literacy.
मैं सबको आप सब से भी अनुरोध करता हूं, अपना इलाके में जो भी बुजुर्ग लोग हैं, जो अनपढ़ है, उनको साक्षर बनाना हमारा कर्तव्य होता है। कारण क्या है, देश आगे बढ़ना, इसके लिए साक्षरता बहुत जरूरी है। जुर्म को फेस करना साक्षरता जरूरी है। समान अवकाश के लिए साक्षरता जरूरी है। उद्योग के लिए साक्षरता जरूरी है। नौकरी के लिए साक्षरता जरूरी है। अन्याय से, अत्याचार से लड़ने के लिए साक्षरता जरूरी है। और भ्रष्टाचार से मुक्ति पाने के लिए भी साक्षरता जरूरी है। मैं इसलिए कहता हूं, ये एजुकेशन फॉर एनलाइटनमेंट।
Well, the Supreme Court on Friday directed the Tamil Nadu government to prevent any agitation over the NEET examination issue in the state, where protests have intensified after the suicide of aspirant S. Anita. The apex court also directed the government to prosecute anyone indulging in any activity that creates law and order problem in the state. The top court issued a notice to Tamil Nadu government and a plea seeking a direction to the state to maintain law and order situation. The bench also observed that the national eligibility and entrance test has already been upheld by the apex court. Anita had committed suicide on September 1st, a week after the top court ruled that medical college admissions in Tamil Nadu will be based on the national admission test. The bench will now hear the matter on September 18th.
Passed a direction order, the Chief Secretary of the Tamil Nadu State as well as the Home Secretary of the Tamil Nadu State to maintain the law and order situation in the state of Tamil Nadu against the NEET protest. The NEET protest is against a Supreme Court judgment. So that is the reason the Supreme Court today restricted the political parties from taking the law into their hand and creating the law and order situation in the state of Tamil Nadu.
Well, here's a roundup of some other news from across the country and nationwide. In Haryana, the search operation to sanitize Dera Sacha Sauda in Sirsa started under tight security this morning. Search teams including bomb squads, SWAT commandos, dog squads and Jawans of Intelligence Bureau entered the Dera. Security forces have recovered a luxury car without a registration plate, hard disks, computers, laptops and cash till now. Meanwhile, mobile services have been suspended with immediate effect in Sirsa. A clash broke out between Gorkha Janmukti Morcha activists and police during a pro-shutdown rally in West Bengal's Darjeeling on Friday. Activists allegedly attacked police with stones after their rally was stopped. As per police sources, no permission was granted to the party activists to hold the rally in the area. The indefinite shutdown in the Darjeeling Hills entered the 85th day on Friday. The Jawaharlal Nehru University Students' Union elections were held on Friday. A total of 7 presidential candidates from different parties are in the poll fray for the post. 4 students have filed nominations for the post of Vice President and General Secretary, while 6 candidates are standing for the post of Joint Secretary. The results are expected to be declared on Monday. A Class 2 student was found murdered outside a toilet of the Ryan International School in Gurgaon this morning. 7-year-old Pradyumnan Thakur's throat was slit and a knife was found next to his body. The body has been sent for post-mortem. Soon after news of the death spread, hundreds of parents and locals gathered outside the school and protested against the school management. 9 persons were killed when the roof of a bus stand collapsed in Coimbatore on Friday. Chief Minister E. Palanisamy condoled the deaths and announced a compensation of 4 lakh rupees each to their families. He also sanctioned aid of 50,000 and 25,000 rupees each to those with injuries. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Jade was popular during Mughal era and gained prominence during Akbar's rule in 15th and 16th century. It came all the way from Iran and Central Asia in attractive colors. The royalty had a unique use for it, since jade changed color when it came in contact with arsenic. They started utensils like plates, jars, bowls and even hookah with it, and thereby avoided getting poisoned by rivals.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, after joining BRICS members in condemning terror groups based in Pakistan, China on Friday tried to defend its all-weather ally, saying Islamabad too has made sacrifices and has done its best to fight terrorism. This came after a meeting between the foreign ministers of both countries.
China on Friday defended its ally Pakistan on the issue of terrorism. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi has said that Islamabad has done its best to combat terrorism and some countries need to give it full credit for that. The remarks were made at a press briefing in Beijing with his Pakistani counterpart Khwaja Mohammad Asif. China's reaction came after US President Donald Trump last month slammed Pakistan for providing safe haven to terrorists.
巴基斯坦政府和人民为反恐事业所做出的巨大努力和民族牺牲有目共睹，国际社会将给予充分的肯定。我们认为，巴基斯坦在反恐问题上做到了尽心尽力、问心无愧，反倒是某些国家应当还巴方一个公道。
Pakistani Foreign Minister Khwaja Mohammad Asif is visiting Beijing after China backed a tough resolution on terrorism at the just concluded BRICS summit in Xiamen. Asif thanked China for its unequivocal support to Pakistan and said maintaining regional security and peace is Pakistan's priority.
With China's intervention and their role in bringing us together, Kabul and Islamabad, it will go a long way, and we will definitely pursue a policy of engagement with Kabul in bringing peace to our region. Thank you.
China, Pakistan and Afghanistan will hold a foreign ministers' dialogue before the end of this year to enhance cooperation between the three sides. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Mexico on Friday expelled the ambassador of North Korea in protest over Pyongyang's latest nuclear test, which it said posed a grave risk to peace. The statement issued by the Foreign Ministry said Ambassador Kim Hyun-gil was declared persona non grata and ordered him to leave the country within 72 hours. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said that he would prefer to avoid military action to deal with North Korea's nuclear threat. However, he added that previous diplomatic efforts have failed to pressure Pyongyang from developing its missiles.
Military action would certainly be an option. Is it inevitable? Nothing's inevitable. It would be great if something else could be worked out. We would have to look at all of the details, all of the facts, but we've had presidents for 25 years now. They've been talking, and the day after an agreement is reached, new work begins in North Korea, continuation on nuclear. So I would prefer not going the route of the military, but it's something certainly that could happen. Our military has never been stronger.
A tsunami alert was issued in Mexico after an earthquake measuring 8.1 on the Richter scale hit the Pacific Ocean on Thursday night. At least 15 people have died after the earthquake struck the southern coast of Mexico.
The epicenter of the quake, measuring 8.1 on Richter scale, was in the Pacific Ocean, around 1,000 kilometers southeast of the capital Mexico City and over 100 kilometers from the Pacific coast. The state of Chiapas was closest to the quake, where 3 people lost their lives. Tremors lasting up to a minute were also felt in Mexico City and Guatemala City. The earthquake has been described by Mexico's president as the country's strongest in a century, with the death toll only expected to rise.
Se sintió bastante fuerte, nada más que salimos todos tranquilos por la escalera de emergencia.
Sentí mucho miedo, de verdad que sí sentí mucho miedo. Estoy en un 20 piso, en el piso número 20, y fue bastante importante. Pero tenemos que seguir orando y pidiéndole a Dios que nos dé mucha conciencia colectiva también, porque hubo mucha unión de todos.
A tsunami warning was confirmed in Mexico, with the possibility of waves taller than 10 feet hitting the coast. According to Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, tsunami waves are expected to hit multiple countries, including Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Honduras and Ecuador. Over a dozen aftershocks ranging from 4.3 to 5.7 in magnitude have been recorded closer to the Mexican coast. Struck. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Hurricane Irma, one of the most powerful Atlantic storms in a century, drove towards Florida on Friday after lashing the Caribbean with devastating winds and torrential rains. At least 12 deaths have been reported. The hurricane was downgraded from a Category 5 to a Category 4 early on Friday, but it still packed winds as strong as 250 kilometers per hour. It was heading for the Bahamas, where it was expected to bring 6-meter storm surges before moving to Cuba and then slamming into southern Florida on Sunday. Irma has ravaged a series of small islands in the northeast Caribbean, including Barbuda, St. Martin and the British and US Virgin Islands, ripping down trees and flattening homes and hospitals. Here's a roundup of some other international news in Global Buzz. A federal court in California gave a new blow to the Trump administration's travel ban. The court ruled that some refugees must be allowed into the country. President Donald Trump's ban was first announced in January with little notice and was widely criticized as discriminatory against Muslims. Earlier, Trump said that it was needed to keep out terrorists. The new decision states that the ban must exclude refugees who have a formal assurance from an agency within the U.S. and that the agency will ensure the provision of reception and placement services to that refugee. Russia's Ministry of Defense said it has killed 4 Islamic State group leaders in an airstrike outside the eastern Syrian city of Deir al-Zor. According to the reports, airstrikes killed 40 militant leaders. Abu Muhammad al-Shimali and Gulmurod Kalimov were among those militants who were killed in the airstrike. Well, in other news from Syria, the Syrian government forces broke the siege by Islamic State on the eastern city of Deir al-Zor. The 3-year-long siege was lifted when the advancing Syrian army reached the besieged Brigade 137 military base in western Deir al-Zor. The Syrian forces were advancing from 2 directions to break the siege on Deir al-Zor, where 93,000 civilians were under siege since 2015. Breaking the siege and capturing all IS-held parts of Deir al-Zor will help Syrian army to secure the border with Iraq and retrieve the oil fields. Well, let's now shift focus and bring you up to speed with some news from the world of sports in SportsBeat. Women's national hockey coach Fjord Marinier was named chief coach of the men's side. Marinier replaced Roland Altmans, who was sacked after a few ordinary performances in the past few months. Beside Marinier, World Cup winning junior team coach Harendra Singh was appointed as high-performance specialist coach of the senior women's team. Marinier will take charge on the 20th of September after returning from an ongoing tour of Europe with the women's team. Harendra will be on the job from Saturday itself. The decisions were announced by newly appointed Sports Minister Rajya Singh Rathod. Madison Keys defeated Coco Vandeweghe 6-1, 6-2 in New York on Thursday to reach the US Open Finals. Keys will face world number 83 Sloane Stephens, who beat 9th-seeded Williams. Keys came out swinging against the fellow power hitter and broke Vandeweghe twice as she stormed into a final lead in a one-sided opening set that took only 23 minutes. It will be the first time that two American women will be against each other for the title since 2002, when Venus lost to her younger sister, Serena Williams. In another women's semi-final match, Sloane Stephens beat fellow American Venus Williams 6-1, 0-6, 7-5 in a roller coaster of a semi-final on Thursday. Stephens, who returned to competition at Wimbledon after nearly a year off because of a foot injury, ended 9th-seeded Williams' hopes of reaching her third major final this year. Stephens will face Madison Keys in an All-American final. Well, that's it on this newscast. Good night.